case?
This is the case of the Queen versus Snow White, appearing for the plaintiff, the Wicked Queen, our attorneys Rita Joaquina and Kiana Senecalis. Appearing for the defendant, Snow White, our attorneys Anna Pelican.
This is the case of the Queen versus Snow White. As I understand the pleadings filed in this case, the charge against Snow White is that she stole the Queen's trademark, the Fairest One of All. Does counsel for the parties wish to make an opening statement?
Your Honor, and members of the jury, in this case, we'll show that the defendant, Snow White, mistreated her own loving stepmother, the Queen, hurting her feelings terribly. We'll show that instead of trying to make her stepmother happy, Miss White stole the Queen's trademark, the fairest one of all, by tricking the Queen's magic mirror into naming Snow White as the fairest one of all. Thank you, Your Honor, and kind members of the jury.
Does the counsel for Snow White wish to make an opening statement?
Your Honor and members of the jury, the Queen has made a foolish charge out of pure vanity. We will show that Snow White did nothing whatsoever to trick the magic mirror. The mirror simply spoke the truth. The Queen cannot have a valid truth. Queen cannot have a valid trademark in the title, the fairest one of all. She no longer is the most beautiful person in the kingdom. We will show that Snow White did nothing wrong to trick the magic mirror. She is merely the unwitting victim of her stepmother's death. Thank you, Your Honor.
Very well. Call your first witness.
I call the Queen as my first witness.
Bailiff, please swear the witness.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear that the evidence you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
How dare you even ask me such an impertinent question, young woman? I am the Queen, after all.
Just say I do if you please, Your Majesty.
I do.
Please be seated.
Please state your name.
Queen. If you wish to be less formal, you may call me Your Majesty.
Address?
Well, the palace, of course.
And it is in the palace that the magic mirror is on display.
Yes, in the royal bedchamber.
More precisely, in the royal bedchamber.
On the wall, of course. You know, mirror, mirror on the wall. I used to just have it propped on the floor, but somehow, mirror, mirror on the floor, who's the one we all adore, didn't have quite the right ring to it.
Yes, quite. But could you also tell us where you came by such an unusual decorative item at the magic fair?
Well, the truth is I was driving through Transylvania this one summer, and these witches were having a garage sale. Boy, if you ever wanted to stock up on Eye of Newt.
Ah, yes, well, let's move along to the morning of April 17, 2012. Did anything unusual happen that morning?
Well, it was a perfectly horrible morning. I was in my bedchambers. My handmaidens were helping me dress. And then I saw this tiny spot on my royal robes. So we had to call in the royal dry cleaner. And then I broke a nail and had to summon the royal manicurist. It's not that I am vain. It's just so many people come to pay their respects to me.
I'm sure we all know you are a well-loved monarch.
I make sure of that by chopping off the heads of those who don't love me.
Ah, yes. Well, please go on.
Well, finally, I was just about to receive that day's visitors when I stopped by the magic mirror for a moment, you know, to check it out.
Check it out.
Yes, I always ask it who is the fairest one of all.
What happened next?
Well, the foul thing said that Snow White was the fairest one of all. At first I thought it was a technical glitch, you know, something in the software, so I banged on it a little. It's like the Coke machine in the palace basement. Sometimes you have to give it a good whack to get it to cough up.
What, if anything, did you see when you walked out of your chambers on the morning of April 17th? After the incident you have just described,
I saw Snow White walking away from my chambers toward the great guild hall at the center of the palace.
was her bedchamber in that part of the palace near the royal bedchamber?
Most assuredly not. She does not sleep in the palace.
How often did you ask the magic mirror who is the fairest one of all?
Every day, I like to keep on top of the situation.
And have the magic mirror ever named anyone other than you as the fairest one of all?
Why, never, of course. Why would it?
Had you registered your trademark Fairest One of All?
Yes, I had the royal attorney do that for me.
Your Majesty, I now hand to you what has been marked as Plaintiff's Exhibit. Is that your trademark certificate?
Yes, it is.
I have no further questions for this witness.
I'd like to cross-examine the witness briefly, if I may. Majesty, did you register your trademark in the Federal Trademark Office?
Objection! That is irrelevant. It is only necessary to register the trademark in the Fairy Tale Trademark Office.
I agree. Objection sustained. Do you have any other questions for this witness?
One more, Your Honor. Even though that Snow White is your stepdaughter, you're forced her to work as servant in the palace, isn't that correct?
So, does the girl no harm that I can see? Actually, I look at it as an act of kindness. Scrubbing floors gives her a good aerobic workout, and she does not have to join a health club.
Isn't it true then that while scrubbing those floors, her presence around the royal bedchamber needn't arouse the slightest suspicion?
Well, I suppose if you're going to get technical about it, but I don't think for a minute that it was coincidental that day.
I have no further questions.
You may step down, Your Majesty. Plaintiff, you may call your next witness.
Your Honor, that is all of our evidence. The Queen rests.
Then, counsel for the defendant, please call your first witness.
Your Honor, as my first witness, I call Miss S. White, otherwise known as Snow White.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear that the evidence you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please be seated.
Please state your name.
Snow White.
Do you have any parents?
My father and real mother are dead. The Queen is my wicked stepmother.
Objection! Witness is trying to prejudice the jury through character assassination of my client.
Objection sustained. The defendant will please refrain from giving opinions on the plaintiff's character.
It's just a little nickname, but all right.
Would you please identify Rick, your stepmother, for the members of the jury?
She's sitting over at that table, the one with a pimple on her nose.
Pimple? What pimple?
Where do you live?
In the forest with my friends, the seven dwarves. I pick some porridge in the morning, and then they go, hi-ho, hi-ho, and it's off to work they go to